What if I told you that the man who's always seen in a sharp suit on TV is now spotted in a car with his dog? Hair all over the place. I'm talking about David Muir, the ABC News anchor who spent years mastering the art of the perfectly coiffed look. But recently, he's been giving us a glimpse of something different. And honestly, it's refreshing. Let me tell you why this matters. When someone like Muir, who's basically the gold standard of polished professionalism, starts showing up in casual, unfiltered moments, it forces us to rethink how we perceive public figures. It's not just about his hair anymore. It's about the narrative he's choosing to share. Personally, I think this shift is a reaction to the growing demand for authenticity in media. Audiences aren't just hungry for news, they want to see the people behind the headlines. What makes this really interesting is how Muir's vacation photos contrast so sharply with his on-air persona. Imagine him arranging flower bouquets in Italy or riding a boat with his dog, Axel. These aren't just random snapshots. They're deliberate choices to humanize himself. And let's be real, we've all been there, scrolling through Instagram and seeing someone we thought was perfect in a messy, real-life moment. It's oddly comforting, right? It reminds us that even the most put-together people have days where they're just relaxed. Now, I'll admit I'm a sucker for stories about celebrities' off-duty lives. But what this really suggests is a cultural shift in how we consume media. We're not just watching news anymore. We're following the lives of the people delivering it. And Muir's recent posts? They're like a peek behind the curtain. What many people don't realize is that this kind of content isn't just for entertainment. It's a strategic move. By sharing these moments, Muir is building a deeper connection with his audience. He's not just a news anchor. He's a person with hobbies, a dog, and a love for travel. It's a masterclass in branding, really. But here's the thing. This also raises a deeper question. How much of our perception of public figures is shaped by curated content versus reality? Because let's face it, even Muir's rugged look is still carefully staged. He's in a car with Axel wearing sunglasses, but the lighting, the angle, it's all part of the story he wants to tell. A detail I find fascinating is how his fanbase reacted. Comments like, "You're my favorite broadcaster," or "You're as handsome as you are talented," aren't just flattery. They're validation. It shows how much trust people place in him, even when he's not in a suit. And honestly, that's powerful. It makes me wonder, what happens when the line between professional and personal blurs completely? Because Muir's not just sharing vacation photos. He's also hinting at his life beyond the camera. His homes in Manhattan and upstate New York, for example, are more than just real estate. They're symbols of success, but also of balance. He's got a $7 million lake house in Skaneateles, built in 1890, with 6 bedrooms and a fireplace. That's not just a house. It's a statement. But here's the catch. How does that luxury coexist with the demands of his job? It's a reminder that even the most high-profile people need space to recharge. And if you take a step back and think about it, Muir's recent posts feel like a quiet rebellion against the pressure to be always on. He's not just taking a vacation. He's reclaiming his identity outside the newsroom. What this really suggests is that the future of media isn't just about delivering facts. It's about building relationships. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you see Muir on TV, you'll notice his hair isn't quite as slicked back as usual. And that's okay. Because in a world that's constantly trying to keep up with the noise, sometimes the most valuable thing a public figure can do is remind us that they're just people too.